What's going on, guys, and welcome. So I'm super stoked about this. This is the first video in a series celebrating the local climbers. And I want to start off by first saying a big shout out to River Sports for helping and just being so cool with us filming here and doing all this. So big shout out to them. These people are not paid professional. These are people that pay to climb. They are so passionate about the sport. They find their free time and come here to climb. And a lot of these people climb really hard. So I'm super stoked to share their story. So let's just get inside and get started.
So my name is Marinna Mullins. I am 27 years old, and when I'm not climbing, I work as a medical laboratory scientist in Maryville, Tennessee. So I got into climbing after I graduated from college. I was looking for something to fill my time with since I had nothing to do anymore besides work. I wanted to do something that would, fill my time in a good way. And so 4 years ago is when I got my degree, and then I've been climbing ever since. Ever since I've started, we've tried to spend just about every weekend we can going somewhere. So I think some interesting climbing trips that we've been on are weekend trips mostly. Rocktown is a great place to spend the weekend. Recently, Rumbling Ball, we got to spend a week out in Joe's Valley this past fall, so that was a really good trip. So there's one woman in particular that I really look up to. Her name is also Marinna, Marinna in a way. She started out as a sport climber mostly, but I see her bouldering a lot more now. She's got beautiful tattoos. She's a tattoo artist. She's super strong. She's a little bit of a shorty like me, even shorter than I am. She's 5'2", where I stand at 5'4", and so I love listening to her talk about her overcoming some of the setbacks that she has and some of the things that she works on to be stronger and in power and stuff like that. Pass. I've got one. So I think interesting climbing stories. One of our friends was getting married, and we spent her bachelorette party out at a camping area in Obed called the Lily Pad. And it was just a big party, a big party, climbing trip party, but party. So that was an interesting trip. Yeah, that was a hard question to answer because when I think local, I think Knoxville, and I think the local crag, you could say Imes, but my favorite local spot I think would be Obed. I have such a huge attachment to Obed. It was the first place that I ever climbed. I visited Obed whenever I wasn't a climber, and it just amazed me. I had no idea what I was looking at the time, but that was the first place I saw, and looking back at it with eyes that have climbing knowledge, I don't know, I appreciate what I saw then, but I appreciate what I see now even more. Yeah, so food-wise, I myself try to stick to something really low carb, mostly low carb, but on climbing days, you really have to fuel that stuff. I don't feel like I can really be powerful if I don't have something carb associated with on those days. So that, but so many veggies, as much veggies and local or grass-fed beef or meats, pasture-raised chicken or eggs, you know, just like high quality proteins are important to me. For sure. Yeah, I'm not afraid of fat. I'm not afraid of fat at all. I cook with butter, I cook with bacon grease that I save. I put heavy cream in my coffee. You know, I'm not afraid of fat at all. Try not to overeat, you know, try to eat when my body tells me I'm hungry, and just try to eat clean, you know, no processed foods, and just like on a lower carb scale, on the lower carb end. I think that there's a time and a place for it, for sure. It depends on what time of the year it is. I know that sounds silly, but when the weather's good and I want to be outside climbing, I want to have my fingers feeling as strong as they possibly can, so I do not fingerboard. I fingerboard mostly in the summer when I'm trying to train, which you know, I know I'm not going to be going outside. I know I'm not going to be working towards a project outside, so I want to, you know, train up then, and then once the weather cools down, I want to be able to hit that as hard and as fresh as I can, so I don't want to be tired. So I have a little mini one, the roof at Pep Boys, the famous roof at Pep Boys, the 7-Eleven roof, is kind of a new project. I finished my long-term project, so this has been, right now it's a short-term. We'll see how it goes. I'm not much for projecting. A lot of pressure like that kind of takes the fun out of it for me sometimes. Yeah, if I put too much pressure on a project and it doesn't go, I can get frustrated, so I try to have fun and project a little bit here and there, but not focus on just that. So, the problem with highest grade climbed is that people are always going to try to downgrade what you do, and so I don't like to grade chase, because, you know, no matter what you do, somebody out there is going to be like, oh, well, that's soft, you know. So I won't even answer that question, because I think that's silly to grade chase. There's twos out there. There's a 2 at Rocktown with the scoop. I'll probably never be able to do that problem. But, you know, I've climbed way harder grades than that, you know, so. I don't know, that's a hard question to answer also, because all holds have their place. I know that I don't have a favorite, but I have ones I don't like. I do not have pinch strength. On a wide pinch, I feel helpless. It's something I need to work on and train a little bit more. And also, if it's a large sloper, it can really bog out my wrists. That's a problem that a lot of climbers will have, is a weaker wrist or cartilage injuries in their wrist, which I have had. Unfortunately, you know, injuries are just a part of climbing, especially the longer you do it. So you do learn the rehab techniques for wrist specifically. You know, there's rice bucket techniques, there's, you know, wrist stabilizing taping techniques that you can do and stuff like that to, you know, kind of protect an injury. You could do a whole series, a whole YouTube series on injuries, and I've done a lot of research for it, for sure, because almost everything has been heard of me at one point in time. Yeah. As long as you're careful and as long as you're listening to your body, you know, you can kind of pay attention to what's starting to tweak. Yeah, so getting into climbing can be intimidating. I think it's funny, I used to look at the parking lot and see how many cars were there, and if there were too many cars, I would just leave. Like, I would just turn around and leave because I was so intimidated by it, by people watching me, or, you know, that I wasn't as good as everyone. And so I think the most important thing for people that are just trying to get into it is that you need to be able to realize that everyone wants you to succeed. Even as a brand new climber, people in the gym want you to keep coming. It takes a while to pick up. It feels really strange at first. but if you can be consistent and keep coming, even though it's intimidating or even though you're nervous, as long as you can keep going and keep trying, you'll pick it up a lot faster than you think.
All right. I think this is good.
Yeah. I can't wait to climb.
So, how many climbs do you like to do to warm up with?
I don't count them.
You don't count them?
Yeah.
Just do it until you're warm?
Yeah, I would say probably about 15 to 20 problems that feel easy to me before I really try anything yeah, I think it's really worth it to try to warm up. Like, injuries are awful. You climb better when you're warm. If you try to jump straight on something that feels kind of hard for you, it's going to feel even harder because your blood just isn't moving the way it needs to.
That seems like a lot of climbs, though. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not arguing with you at all.
Yeah.
But 15 climbs seems like a lot of climbs. Because I don't know how many I do. I feel like I only do maybe 4 or 5. Maybe. And then I'll start, because but I do get pumped usually pretty quick when I do that. So, exactly, right.
If you take
that
your
is
time,
true.
you feel a lot better for a longer, more sustained
I should probably do that.
session.
All right, so we're getting warmed up. Is this the one you think you're going to do?
I'm going to try it.
Yeah? All right. This is a pretty good one. I've tried this one before, and it's pretty tough. It's especially this move right here. From there to there, that's a really tough move. And then it's kind of easier. I don't know. What do you think it is, like a V3-ish? Except for this move?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably V4, but it's just got a couple big
big moves.
Big wingspan.
So the trick that I figured out the one time that I did make it work is once you get to here, to move your hand over and just swing and swing your feet way up in the air, and then just slam your heel down on that one right there.
Oh yeah, so I can
swing it all the way across.
I can get my heel up here
to there, but then moving that move.
Yeah, it's still this. So today what I'm going to try to do, I didn't try this the other day, is I can get my heel okay, but I'm going to try to match this to give me a little extra room so I'm not quite so... I'll try it both ways so you can see what I'm talking about. From here, how close I can get, and then I bet you I can get it from this hold today. I see.
All right, guys, so I think that's going to do it for the video. Big thanks to Marinna. I think it's an awesome first episode. I think you did some good sins. I'm really stoked with the way it turned out. So thank you for doing it.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm so happy to be here.
And big shout out again to River Sports for helping us with all this. So remember, guys, do what you love. We'll see you next time.